present scenario, how the methods are different from the older techniques, what we are using in the previous times, how these techniques are different from that process. That I am going to explain you or the touch those aspect of those older techniques and the newer techniques in this particular lecture. And along with this, I'm going to explain you in little depth in one of the very important method which nowadays people are using for their teaching, that is called the project-based learning methodology. So can you change the slide, ma'am? Okay. So in this particular lecture, I'm going to, hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir. Is it visible,
okay.
Sir?
Yeah, I can see, ma'am. I can see.
Thank you, sir.
So in this particular session, I'm going to talk about the whole lecture in following subheadings. The first is the introduction, and then second is traditional teaching methods. As I told you earlier, that I'm going to differentiate between the older techniques which the person were using in the ancient times or in previous times. So that what are those techniques, and some new techniques. So how these two methods are different, and what are the merits and demerits of both the techniques, that I'm going to explain you in this particular subheading, traditional teaching methods. Then learning pyramids. Then I will talk about some brief about the Bloom's taxonomy, and then we come to the main topic of this particular lecture, that is called the innovative teaching methodologies. Then, as I told you, I'm just going to give you the in-depth information about the method that is called the project-based learning method. And at last, we will have some question-answer session on this particular lecture. Okay. Next slide, ma'am. Now, a sound education system is the prerequisite for the development of any nation. As you all know that the teaching, or you can say the education, is very important to make a person what he is actually. Means, because you cannot differentiate, means how you can say how you can differentiate between the animals and the humans. So humans are different from the animals in the sense that they can think and they can analyze the things whatever they are seeing around them. So this is the difference between the animals or the other living things, how the humans are different from them. So the basic thing which differentiate or demarcate among the humans and the other life forms is the education or the teaching. How they are different? Because of the education what they are getting from the surroundings, and how they are going to analyze that particular education. That is very important thing that differentiate the humans from the other living things. So the education plays a very important role to create or to develop a person in a with a right human being. So there are different methods in our older times. The peoples or the teachers were using, that is called the traditional methods. And nowadays the methods are gradually changes. There is a because as you know that during the evolution the things are going to changes day by day or year by year or decade by decades. So in every aspect there is a changes or the you can upgradation. So same thing happens with the teaching methodology. So what kind of methods we were using in the older times, now gradually it is going to be changed, or it is gradually changing according to the time. So because as I said you, nowadays we are using the different types of methods for teaching in the education system, also for the teaching. So the main thing is that as the science develop means you can say the IT sectors develops, the computer sector develops. So according to the development of the computer systems or the IT information technology, there is an incorporation of those development of the information technologies are also occurring in the education system. So because of the or you can say that the older techniques are older techniques, or you can say the newer techniques, how they're different from the older techniques. The main thing is that the incorporation of the information technology in the teaching methodology. Because of that, we are able to differentiate, or we can say that the teaching methodologies are nowadays improving or gradually evolving as compared in comparison to the older method. But it is it is a question of debate that which one is better. The older techniques are better, or the newer techniques which we are using for uh, teaching in the lower classes, like higher schools or the higher secondary schools, or you can say in the higher education. What type of methods nowadays we are using? So which one is better? So it is a question of debate, because both the methods has their own merits and the demerits. Okay. Change the slide, please. Now, what are the traditional teaching methods? So, in most parts of the country, traditional teaching methods are used in the education institution. As a lot of you know that the maximum part of our country is living in the rural areas. So, as I told you, because as the information technology is evolving, in the same manner, the teaching methods, or you can say the way we are delivering the information to the students, that also going to changing. So the question is that, are we able to incorporate the information technology in the education system in all, or you can say in the whole part of the country? No, it is not. It is not true, because the maximum part of the country is still in the rural areas, and there is a you can say we cannot imagine, or we cannot think of that all the means you can say that all the IT all the IT equipments can be utilized by the teachers who are teaching in the rural areas. So in most part of our country, you can say the traditional teaching methods are nowadays still are being utilized. And in the traditional teaching methods, normally what happened, or you can say the basic concept of the teaching in the traditional, you can say that is the teachers are mainly using the chalk and blackboard. It's called the chalk and talk method. So that was the traditional method our teachers were using at the in the ancient time. And nowadays, as I told you, in the most part of the countries, because in the villages you cannot think of that the people or teachers can utilize the IT gadgets for the teaching methodology. So you can say that the still you can say that chalk and talk method is the most prominent method which are being utilized teachers of maximum part of the country. But the thing is that chalk and talk method, or you can say that the chalk and blackboard method, this method is uh, very much interesting and very much effective to connect with the students. So as I told you that the every method has their own merits and the demerits. So in the same way, the traditional method that is called the chalk and blackboard or chalk and talk method, it has a very good merit, or you can say that method was very much effective in the way how means teachers can connect with the students. So that is very important thing. In the same way, in chalk and talk methods, after the completion of the lectures, students needs to revise their notes and try to memorize the notes. So that was one of the drawback with the chalk and talk method. And if you look at the traditional methods, so one of the main aim of that method means you can say that the students that method was not the student centric. Nowadays, if you look at the new education policy, according to education policy, the main motto of that education system, or you can say that this is called the teaching methodology, that needs to be student centric. But older methods like chalk and talk methods, or there are some other methods were also involved in the older teaching methodology. So that were not the student centric. Means normally what students want to do in that previous times, he just wanted to just engulf, just memorize all the information given by the teachers, and just memorize it, and just write in the examination and pass the examination. And after that, there was no use of that teaching. So that is one of the drawback of the means traditional teaching method. That method was mainly designed in such a way that was only given the information or the knowledge to the students. But only the knowledge is not sufficient for the students to grow more, or you can say that the bookish knowledge is not sufficient to create some sort of skills among the students, so that that knowledge can be utilized by the students, and that can be utilized to create some sort of you can say that knowledge can increase the employability, or you can say that the entrepreneurship quality. That knowledge is not going to that information is not sufficient to create some sort of skill techniques among the students, like communication skills, or you can say students for that time means confined to certain areas. They are not they're not able to think out of the box. So that was the one of the very important, you can say that the drawback of the older teaching methods. Okay, so as I told you, means every method has their own merits and the demerits. So in same way, the uh, traditional teaching method, that's called the chalk and blackboard method, that also has some sort of demerits and the merits. Okay, next. Now, the merits of the traditional teaching method. If you look at the traditional teaching method, the first and the most important merit of the traditional teaching method, that is, it is very cheaper. If you look at the cost or the price of the kind of gadgets nowadays people are utilizing for giving the information in by using the, you can say, the teaching which is IT integrated, that is very costly. If you compare, if you look at the cost of the like smart boards and the smart classrooms like DLT and all that, so that is very costly. And the traditional method, what we are using, or simple blackboard we are using, and we are using chalk and duster, so that was very cheaper. This is the very good merits of the traditional teaching method. It is a very cheaper than the modern teaching methods, which make more suitable in the schools of rural areas. As I told you, in most of the part of our country is still residing in the rural areas, so you cannot think of the advanced technology or IT integrated technology for those schools which are still residing in the rural areas, where you cannot think of the modern teaching method because it's very costly for them. Second thing is, like some subjects like mathematics and the chemistry, because as I told you, in chalk and talk methods, it is a very good method to connect with the students. It's very effective way how we can connect with the students. So some subjects, like as I mentioned over here in that slide, that mathematics and the chemistry, in that you need to connect with the students in the proper way. So that method, means chalk and talk method, is very good for some such kind of subjects also. And as I told you, there is a more interaction between the teacher and the students. Still, it is a teacher-centric method, but there is an interaction between the teachers and the students are very good, or very effective in the traditional teaching method, that is called the chalk and talk method. In traditional teaching methods, teacher does not require any special technical knowledge, and can focus more on his subject for imparting the best knowledge to the students. That is a very important thing. Nowadays, as you can see, the
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
hello,
Yes, sir.
am I audible, ma'am?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir. But your voice was breaking.
Okay, I think there was network issue.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello?
We were not able to hear you, sir. That's why. Now it is audible, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay, okay, okay. Okay. So, as I told you, means lots of technical information is technical knowledge is necessary for the teachers if we using the newer methods, means you can say the IT integrated methods in that. So so in that case, what happened, the teachers is not able to give more time to the subject, so that so in somehow in some context, what I think, what personally I think, that the teacher is mainly focusing on the ads, the teaching ad, how they can improve the teaching ad rather than the subject knowledge. So this is one of the, you can say, the uh, demerit. It is not the merit; it's a kind of demerit, which in newer technology, means in older technology it's very good, because I told you, in the traditional methods, teacher has sufficient time to prepare for the lectures. Like he has a good knowledge of the subjects. So this is also one of the very important merits of the traditional method, which is lacking nowadays when the teachers is going for the using the, let's say, IT integrated teaching methods. In that, teachers is not that much, you can say, that much comfortable, because that's why he's not able to deliver the appropriate knowledge to the students, appropriate information to the students related to the subjects. Okay, next. No, this is called the learning pyramids. As I told you, there are two methods, older methods and the newer teaching methodology. Both have their own merits and the demerits. If you look at the learning pyramids, means how effective any method is any method is for the uh, for the uh, for the learners. Means here I'm talking about the students. So if you look that, you can classify the teaching pyramids in two main category. One is called the passive teaching methods. You can say this is the older methods, and second is called the participatory teaching methods. So these two things are very important. So what is the difference between the passive teaching methods and second is called the participatory teaching methods? As I told you, the older teaching methods are mainly is teacher centric. Those methods were not the student centric. But if you look at the newer technology, newer teaching methods, where we are using the IT gadgets and some sort of, you can say, like we are using the DLP and different types of ads out there in the teaching. So because of that, the teaching becomes the participatory teaching methods. Means what we are doing over here, we are we are using a different type of modes in the teaching, and because of that, the students is not only getting the information, from the teachers, that is happened in the passive teaching methods, but students is also the part of the teaching method. Means the way the teachers is teaching or giving the information to the students also involved in that particular methodology. So the students is the part of the teaching methodology. That's why it is called the participatory teaching method. Means we are giving sort of words to the students, and just students not getting the information. Students are going to analyze and think out of the box in such a way of that particular subject, so he can understand the subject along with the knowledge, as well as he are able to create some sort of new things. Now you can say the thinking, critical thinking ability, we are able to increase among the brain of the students. So if you look at the passing teaching methods, so like if you look at the lecture methods, so by using the lecture methods, only students able to retain about 5% of knowledge. And if the students is reading, so he can retain 10% of the uh, of the information given by the teachers. And if the students are listening or just seeing something, like seeing any kind of video or the audio, so here he is able to recall about he are able to retain the information given by the teacher about 20%. Similarly, if you gradually go down to this particular pyramid, you can see as the students are involved involved in the teaching methodology like group discussion and doing by themselves, practice by doing, and some other methods. So the students is going to going to retain maximum percentage of information. Like discussion, you can retain about 50% information. So by this particular pyramid, you can understand if we are comparing the older methods and the newer methods. So by using the newer methods, we are going to give the information, and that information can be retained by the students. That is what we want. That is what we want. Whatever we are telling the students need to understand, and need to understand in such a way that he can utilize those information and create some sort of thing. So this is the important benefit of the newer techniques or newer methods, which nowadays the educators, the teachers are using to disseminate the information among the students. Next. Now we are going to talk about some modern teaching methods which we can use. So from the last decades, the use of high-tech equipment, as I told you, as the information technology grows, in the similar way, the educational, or you can say in the education, there is a boom of the methods. There is a increase in different types of methods, or you can see the way we can give the information to the students are changing day by day. If we compare with the older times, now the method or the way of disseminating the information is gradually changing. So there is an integration of the information technology with the education, and because of that, the modern teaching methods are evolving in a very fast way. Means as the IT evolves, the same way the teaching methods are evolving in the same pace and the same passion. Now there is as you all know that at present I am giving the lecture. Means I am right now I'm in the Jabalpur, and I'm able to give the information. Means the person who's sitting in any part of the country, or you can say in any part of the globe. So this is the you can say this is the power of the new or the modern teaching methods. This is very important thing. So use of the computers or the laptops with Wi-Fi connection in the classroom. Because of that, you can give your information not only the students sitting in the classroom like 40 or 50 students. You can give your information millions of the person in the same time. So this is the you can say merits, or this is the power of the modern teaching methods. Like, and you can see nowadays the people are using in place of blackboard, they are using the interactive whiteboards in the classroom. So that is also very effective way of modern teaching method, by which we can make the students understand the topic in a very proper way. Or as I told you in the pyramid, when you are explaining when we are explaining anything by using such a thing, by using those modern teaching aids, you can by this the students can retain the maximum information in comparison to the chalk and talk methods. Next. Now the merits of the modern teaching methods. So by using the IT or the newer techniques, you can create more interest among the students about the subject. So in newer methods, you can use animations, videos, and you can use different type of ads you can use, and by this you can create the interest among the students for the subject. And research has shown that use of visual media for teaching helps, as I mentioned in that is called the pyramids. As you can see, you can by using the like animated videos or other teaching aids, the student can memorize the subject or retain the information for the longer duration, the longer period of time. So this is a very important thing. And with the help of modern teaching method, teacher can cover more syllabus in lesser time. Yeah, that is very important merit of that modern teaching method. That's by using the teaching aids. Like if you are teaching with the help of PowerPoint presentation, so There is no need to draw any kind of diagram or write on the blackboard of that. Lots of time gets wasted, and that time can be utilized for completing your syllabus in a very fast manner. The pace by pace you can complete your syllabus. This is very important merits of the modern teaching method. Then videos and animations used in the modern teaching methods are more explanatory than the traditional blackboard method. That is true. That's very true thing. That if you are using the animated videos, you can explain the topics in a very effective way to the among the students. Next. Okay. Now the next part of our my presentation is how we can bring the innovation in the teaching. Okay. Next slide. So this is called the Bloom's taxonomy. Bloom's taxonomy means when you are going for the teaching, you should know whatever topic you are teaching. The topic should cover all these points like remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, and create. Right? So whatever I'm teaching, it is not only for the information. Like students are getting information that this topic is for that and that. It is not only the way of the teaching. The main thing is behind any topic you are teaching, that should at last the topic should create, or that course should create some sort of concrete product. That means some topics are like that, they're only for the remember. Like they are only recalling the facts and the basic concept. Some topic in such a way they needs to be taught, like they should understand the ideas of the concept behind that particular topic. And some information can be utilized by the students to create some here we are using the demonstration methods. Means it is mainly used for the science teachers. What they are doing, they are performing or demonstrating some sort of experiment, and by that particular experiment, students are able to understand the methods, or you can say that the way they are the things are happening in the science. Like if I'm telling that if you're giving some sort of media, the bacteria grows. Grows. So if I'm teaching this particular topic, so students cannot understand exactly how it is happening, because that particular topic is more or less related to the practical. So in that case, you need to demonstrate those particular topics in such a way that students can understand that particular topic. Like as I told you, if you want to grow the bacteria in the lab, so for that you cannot make the students understand or remember the things. In that case, you have to apply your knowledge in the form of a small lab experiment. By that, you can give the information to the student. In the same way, the analyze and the evaluate and the create, because this is not only for the teaching, as well as when you are going for the evaluation part of that particular topic. In that particular evaluation, you can also use the Bloom's taxonomy, right? So Bloom's taxonomy is very important part of the teaching methodology. So when you are going for any topic, you should know the topic is related to the remember, understand, apply, analyze, evaluate, or the create. And out of that, whatever the sub theme are coming in the particular topic, that needs to be utilized by the teachers to inseminate the information among the students. Change. Next. Now, as we all know that there is an educator who is giving the information, and the students who's ready to take the information. Nowadays, the students are you cannot say that I'm just here being a teacher. I'm not for giving the knowledge to the students, because because of the IT, or you can say you can see different different platforms are there. You can see the media sources are there. Google is there, and there are different sources available online by which students can get the knowledge. That means there are different types of videos available. By seeing those videos, students can get the knowledge. Then what is the role of educator in that case? Because if you look at the conventional method, older methods, so teachers is mainly for giving information to the students. But nowadays, because of, as you can say, as I told you, there are lots of, because of revolution in the digital technology, there are different types of gadgets, or the platforms are available by which the every information is there on the fingertip of the students. So why there is no question the students need to come in the classroom, and he can get information from you, because he can take the information from by any other means. So in that case, it is very important to evolve evolution of the teacher in the same way as the students are evolving. Means, so the main work of a educator, or you can say the teacher, it is not the teacher, it is the educator. The main work of the educator is not only give the information or give the knowledge to the students, but apart from this, the teacher needs to develop some other kind of skills, that is called the soft skills, and some other effective way by which he can create some sort of uh, uh, upper hand technologies. Because of that, the students are the students are more towards the employability. It is not only for the information. The students can develop some other skills because of the teaching. So in that case, educator need to develop certain methods or utilize certain methods. Because of that, the teachers are able to create some you can say unique that is called the skills among the students. Because of that, students can excel in the field. That is the basic role of the educator nowadays. It is not only giving the information to the students only. This is not the case. Next. Okay, so nowadays the students are not only the passive learners. They are not only the passive learner, but instead they expect to be fully engaged and to be part of the learning process themselves. As I told you, it is not like in older methods that teachers are giving information, giving knowledge to the students, and the students are the passive learners. Nowadays, what happens? Students wants to be the part of the whole learning process. So how you can create, or means you can say what types of methods we can use, and because of that we are able to make the students or the learners to the part of that particular learning process. So that is very important thing. So that need to be, or you can say they are easily catered by using the newer technologies method, when which I am talking about in this particular lecture. So by using the newer techniques, like some advanced techniques, teachers are able to create, or you can create, or you can different you can standardize some sort of methods, not only for giving the information to the students, as well as for the evaluation of the information whatever I am given to the students, whether it is accepted by the students or not. So evaluation methods need to be refined, and some new methods for the evaluation also needs to be created for the by the educators for the students. That is very important. That is also very important. Next one. Now, what is the, as I told you, the exact role of the educator? means educator had to be reinvent their roles to become equally a co-learners and collaborators. Co-learners means because the teachers who normally use the blackboard for the teaching, so they are very resistant to use the IT gadgets. Like they are not very much comfortable with the laptops, computers, or other kind of gadgets which are being used nowadays in the teaching methods. So that is very important thing, that teachers needs to be a good co-learner, means along with the teachers, because in some cases what happens, the students knows better than the teachers some means how you can utilize those gadgets for the teaching, like preparation of the PowerPoint presentation for the lecture, and uh, preparation of the different kind of explanatory videos. In that case, some students are very much expert in that case. So in that case, teachers, educators needs to be co-learners and the collaborators. So whatever new technologies or new methods are being utilized in the modern teaching methods, the teachers or the educators needs to be aware of that techniques, and then only he can come with the students uh, come with the students the how means exactly students want to have the knowledge from the teacher. It is not only the blackboard. You need to disseminate the information among the students by using those IT gadgets. That is very important. The teacher needs to be very good co-learners and the collaborators in the same way. And today's generations cannot just be told what they must do, but rather they need to be inspired by the wisdom of the educators. So that is very important. So it is very important for the teachers who is previously using the blackboard. So they need to understand nowadays the some IT is very important. Means whatever the integration of IT is there in the education system, so that is very important. It is not for the. It is not for the. It is not. It is not only the method for the teaching, but it is very important. That is very important thing, because that the students are very prominent in using those gadgets. So in that case, teachers needs to know how to utilize those gadgets by for delivering their information to the students. Next. Now, does our education system provide the skills to prepare students for the outside world of employability? That is very important thing. Means whatever the students is reading or studying, the prime motto is employability. Employability is not only getting the jobs in the big companies or in the government sectors. It is not the employability. Employment means the students are able to create jobs also, means entrepreneurship. So for that, the other than knowledge, the other skills are very important. So how you can create to impart the extra skills among the students, that is very important. So as I told you, it is not really crucially, teachers themselves are a vital resource with great potential for preparing students for their working lives. So as in ancient times or the earlier times, teachers is not only for disseminating the knowledge to the students. The teachers is the main mentor for the students, so that he can develop all the kind of skills, create the employability among those students. That is very important thing. So this is the important thing the teachers can create by using the newer technology method, newer teaching methods in their in their way of teaching. That is very important. Next. Next. Okay. So as I told you, only giving the information to the students, it is not sufficient. So holistic approach is very important. Like nowadays, the soft skills are very important, like different types and forms of communication skills, how to talk with the others, and collaboration is very important. When students are only sitting in the classroom, getting the listening the lectures, it is not sufficient, because after completing the degree, the students will go into different firms, different organization, and there they will work. So in that case, the students should understand how to work in the collaboration. So communication skills, how they work in the collaboration, that is very important. So this is called the soft skills. And in the same time, active learning is very important, because by using the active learning, we can create create among the students how they can solve any kind of problem. Any kind of problem means when you are giving them some sort of question, and asking them to come to any conclusion of that particular question, or you can come with the answer of that particular problem. So by this particular methodology, you are able to create you are able to create some you are able to create some kind of skills among the students, by which student can solve any problem, or he's not able to, means he is not going to just mug up the things and write in the exams. So you can create some sort of soft skills, and because of that, students are able to solve any kind of problem. Then what is called the project-based learning, which I'm going to talk in detail about this particular method, project-based learning methods. So this method is very important. Means you are giving the uh, working, you can say the working knowledge to the students, or the real world challenges to the students, and the students are going to solve those problems, and at the last he's coming with some sort of a product by which he can solve solve those problems. It is not only the, you can say that the problems is very much a big problem like the problem faced by the countries, but the local problems, local challenges, whatever you're seeing around you. So that type of problems you can give the students, and students are going to solve those problems in a collaborative manner. So this is what we call the project-based learning. So that is very important method by which you can develop some extra skills among the students. Then there is a cognitive activation, then the personalized learning methods. Means that is that is also important. You should know the individual requirement of the students. That is very important. That is called the personalized learning. So in summary, you can say the holistic approach is very important. You cannot say that I am just teacher is only for giving the information or disseminating the knowledge to the students. You should apply the one holistic approach, and because of that, you are able to create some kind of employability among the students. That is very important. Next. Now we come to the, as I told you, I'm just going to explain you in little bit in detail, in depth about the project-based learning. So what is project-based learning? What is the how it get first time how it came? So there was a person named as John Dewey. He recognized as one of the early proponents of the project-based education, or at least it's a principle through his idea of learning by doing. Learning by doing. That means in project-based learning, what we are doing, we are giving some problem to the students, and students are going at last. Students are coming with the solution of that particular problem. This is called the learning by doing. Means you are giving some project work to the students, and students are solving that particular problem by uh, by using a scientific approach for creating or coming with the solution of that particular problem. So the first person was John Dewey. He first time means proposed this method is called the project-based education, and in this particular method, what he said, according to him, the teacher is not in the school to impose certain ideas or to form certain habits in the child, but is there as a member of the community to select the influences which shall affect the child and not to assist him in properly responding to these. Means the main motto behind the project based learning is that by using the project based learning, you are going to increase, or you are just creating a critical thinking ability among the students. Means there is a problem and this is the solution. This is not the case, because if one problem is there, it has many solutions, it has many solutions. So in that case, what you are doing, you are making the students to think of those kind of solution, or you can say the probable solutions, by which students can, or you are able to increase or create some sort of able to create some sort of critical thinking ability among the students. By using those particular project based work, students are able to think out of the box, and he can think of different kind of solution of a single problem. So this is the main motto behind the project based learning. Means students are performing some sort of experiment, and by which they are learning that particular process. That is the main motto of the project based learning. Next. And there was another person named William Hart Kilpatrick, built on the theory of Davy, who was his teacher. So he mainly gave the method name that is called the project based learning. This is called the Willard and Kilpatrick. Some scholars like James G. Greenough also associated project based learning with Jan Pigot's situated learning, perspective and constructivist theory. And Pigot advocated an idea of learning that does not focus on the memorization. Within his theory, project-based learning, he is considered a method that engages students to invent and to view learning as a process. As I told you, means the method is called the project-based learning, or different methods are there. So the main motto of this particular method is that these methods are student-centric. Means students are involved in the process of learning. Means how the you can say the application of whatever knowledge is prevalent in the book. So that is very important thing behind the project based learning. So students are involved in the particular learning methods. The main work, or the main work of the teacher is that he is only for the mentoring or guiding the students. Means the whole process of learning is done by the students, and the teachers are only the guiding force or the mentoring force behind that particular learning method. So the project based learning is mainly the student centric methods. That is very important. If students are involved in any kind of learning process, so he can understand the topic in a better way, or he has he develops some sort of idea or thinking ability. We can, because this particular method is called the project based learning, because of that method students are able to think out of the box. So that is the main motto behind the project based learning. Means here you are involving the students in the learning process. So that is very important thing. Next. Okay, so if you look at the process of project based learning, it has 4 stages. The first thing is identifying a problem. The first stage is identifying a problem. In that case, what you can do, you can make the students free, that you just think of any kind of problem or kind of problem you are seeing around you. This is one thing you can do, or you can identify the problem yourself and give that particular problem to the students, and you just tell the students, just come with the solution of that particular problem. Okay, so the first and the very important thing is that identifying a problem, and that is very important thing. You cannot identify any kind of problem which is not practicable or feasible. So whenever you are going to give any kind of project related work or a problem to the students, the problem need to be feasible in your context. Like if some students are from the rural areas, some students are from the urban areas, so you cannot give a single problem to the rural area students and the same problem to the urban area students. So depending upon the type of kind of students, you need to identify the problem. So that is the very important thing when you are going for the project based learning, is that the identifying the problem. That is very important. Second is agreeing on or devising a solution and potential solution path to the problem. So as I told you, if one problem is there, it may have many solutions. It may have many solutions. And out of those many solutions, which one is the best? So for that, students need to think. So whatever problem you are giving to the students, student will think for the probable solution. So by this particular method, means students are thinking for the probable solution. By that thing, students are going to think beyond the box, out of the box, and they're able to, by this the students are by this you are able to create some sort of critical thinking ability among the brain of the students. So the second way, the students are going for looking for the solutions of that particular problem. So students are thinking of that problem and they are trying to solve that particular problem. So because of that, you can create some extra skill among the students. No, the third step of the project-based learning is that designing and developing a prototype of the solution. If there is a one problem is there, it has 4 solutions, and out of those 4 solutions, which was the best solution, that you need to find out. So for that, students are going to design and develop a prototype for that particular solution, and after that, refining the solution based on feedback from experts, instructor, and the peers. And so whatever solutions they are coming with the coming for the particular problem, then you need to identify those solutions which was the best solution for that particular problem, and then you go for the evaluation of that particular solutions, what students come up with that for the particular problem. So these are the 4 very important aspects when we are talking about the project based learning. Next. Now, as I told you, 4 steps or 4 phases in PBL, that is called the project-based learning: identifying a problem, agreeing on or devising a solution, and potential solution path to the problem, means how to achieve the solution, means what would be the process for achieving that particular, solving that particular problem, then designing and developing a prototype of the solution, then refining the solution based on feedback from experts, instructor, and the peers. Next. These are the phases for the PBL. Okay. Then that I already talked about. Next. Okay. As I told you, the most important thing in the PBL, that is called the project-based learning, is what is the nature of problem they are trying to solve. Whenever you are giving any kind of problem to the students, it needs to be it needs to be in such a way that that it can it can it cannot be easily solved by the students. Means the students and the problem needs to be counterbalancing. So you cannot give any vast problem. Like it needs to be given a specific problem, a specific project which needs to be answered by the students. So the nature of the problem is very important. You cannot give a problem which is related to the science to the arts students. You cannot give problems related to the art to the science students. So what kind of students you are catering, taking care of that students? So according to that students, type of students, their skills, on that basis only you can give the problems, and because of that problem, students are going to involve in that particular solution. So that is very important thing. Second is, what assumptions can then make about why a problem exists. So that needs to be think by the students. how we can solve those problems, and what are the different types of methods available by which we can solve those particular problems that needs to be available in the nature itself. Next. Now, students should be given the opportunity to brainstorm and discuss their ideas for solving the problem. One very important aspect of the project-based learning is that what you can do, you can give any kind of problem to a group of students. To a group of students means you just create a group of 4 to 5 students and give them one problem. And what will happen? The students will discuss amongst us. Amongst us, they will discuss about the particular problem, and then after that, each students will come with a specific type of solution. So there is the opportunity, there is a chance that there will be the brainstorming. When students will uh, discuss among themselves, and then they can come with any kind of solution. So this is called the brainstorming. So by using the by using the project based learning, we are able to create a brainstorming brainstorming session among the students. That's a very good idea. By this, you can develop some sort of, as I told you, the critical thinking ability you can increase among the students. That is very important thing. And then setting guidelines for the brainstorming, that is very important, such as giving everyone chance to voice an idea. Means if you're creating a group of students, like 4 to 5 students, and you are giving any problem among the students, and the students, what they are doing, they are just discussing among themselves, and they are coming some sort of solutions and ideas. So there is an exchange of idea. There is a exchange of idea among the students regarding any kind of problem. So what you are going to create, you are developing a critical thinking ability among the students, and you are also going to create how they can work as a team. So this is called the coordination. As I told you, when students are completing their graduation or PG, they're going to work in a industry or any organization. So in that particular organization, they need to work in the collaboration. So collaborative skills, or you can say how to work in the collaboration, that you can develop in students by using the project-based learning method. So that is very important thing. What you can generate among the students, it's called the collaborative thinking, collaborative working atmosphere, how they can work in the collaboration. That is very important thing. Next. And now, after after as I told you, if the students are coming with the different type of solutions of a specific problem. So after discussing among them, what are the different pathways or the process they can utilize for solving those particular problems, they can go for designing a prototype of that particular problem. You can say which method is best when they will discuss among themselves different kind of methods. So every methods will have their own drawback and limitations. They will discuss in that particular session, that is called the brainstorming session, and after that they will come up a particular type of solution that is the most suitable, appropriate solution for that particular problem. And for that, they will design a small project, and that project can be executed by those students in a collaborative way. So this is called the prototyping solution. Means you are giving a solution for that particular problem. This is called the prototyping solution. So designing a prototyping solution are typically the next phase of the project-based learning. So that is very important. Means after brainstorming session, you are coming up with a specific type of solution that is called this is known as the prototyping solution. Next one. Next. Okay. So so students may then go about thinking their prototypes to the next level of design, testing, ideally testing taking place in the live setting. Means whatever solution they come up with, so that they are going to test in the lab. Like if I'm just going to give you some examples of the problem. And if the problem is like science related, so what they are going to do, they are going to perform different sets of experiment in the labs. And after performing the different types of experiment in the labs, they are come up with a SOP that is called the standard operating protocol, and that SOP can be utilized or set for that particular problem. So after creating different type of experiment or lab experiment in a group in the lab, they can come up with a real solution of that particular problem. So the results of testing can provide students with important feedback on their solutions and generate a new questions to consider. That is very important thing. So whenever the students are performing any kind of project related work, so it is not always the case that they are come up with the solution. And sometimes what happens, the students get failed also. Means students are not getting the good result whatever they have presumed or assumed before doing that particular experiments. In that case, what happens? Students can, after getting those results, maybe negative or positive. If it's positive, it's okay. If negative, then students can get feedback from their mentors and from their collaborators. And after getting those feedback, they can again design some other prototype for those existing problems. In that case, you can create some sort of thinking ability when the students are not getting the proper result of that particular problem, of that particular project related work. So in that case, students come up with some different ideas. Whatever the results what they're getting negative or the positive results. If they're getting negative results, they can think of something else. Because of that, they can understand, or you can solve those problems in the next trial. That is very important thing. By using the testing, you are able to create some sort of other skills among the students. Next. Okay. So I'm just giving because I'm teaching the students the biotechnology. So I'm just giving few examples of the project. Like one project is called the to biochemical and molecular characterization of Narmada River water near to Gauri Ghat. So this is one of the problems. So by this problem, what students can understand? Students, if you're giving this particular problem to the students, what will happen? Students will go to that particular place, like as I mentioned here, it's called the Gauri Ghat. It's a place in near to Jabalpur. The students will go there. They will talk to the near fellows, the persons residing over there. They have the interaction. So by this means students are going to the site from where they can collect the sample, and because of that, they have a communication skills. They develop the communication skills, and as well as they know how to work in the team. So that is very important. This is very important aspect of the project-based learning. They can work in the team. Like one problem is like generation of DNA barcodes for the medicinal plants of Jabalpur region. So in this way, what by this particular project, students what they can understand, they can go to different persons who are dealing in the medicinal plants. In this particular project, what you can develop among the students, that students may have the interaction with the persons who is doing in some other areas. Like some persons are working in the medicinal plants, some scientists are working in the medicinal plants, or some persons who are treating by using the medicinal plants. So in that case, students will go there, and they will have the live experience for the communication with those persons. And in this way, you can develop skills you can develop among the students. This is one of the very good important you can say the aspect of the project-based learning. So these are some four case study I am giving over there. So this is not only limited, because it is mainly limited to the science stream. So if you belong to the social science, you belong to the mathematics, chemistry, you can think of such kind of project related work and you can give to the students, and by that students can understand the students can involve in the process of learning, and because of that different kind of skills you can develop among the students. Next. Okay, so the major advantages of the project-based learning is that you can this is called the student-driven learning. Means students are involved in the process of the learning. That is very important thing. Students learning from the various sources. Students are using different type of sources. When you're giving one problem to the students is not only depending on the book for the solution of that particular problem. He is having interaction with other fellows, like he's going in the he's searching in the Google of that particular problem. He's also thinking of the what are the uh, different methods or the different ways by we can solve those particular problems. So in this way you are able to increase the you are able to means you are just increasing the aspect or the areas. Means students are just thinking out of the box. It is not depending on the wholesale on the book is knowledge, but he's thinking out of the box, and by this you are able to increase the thinking ability among the students, and you are giving the driving question challenges of the passion. Means you are giving problem and students are going to solve those problems, and because of that students are able to create this called the challenging spirit or challenging spirits to solve those kind of problem. Public presentation means students are having the interaction with the others fellows who are working in the different fields. In this way students are going to have to interact with the other fellows, and by this you are going to increase the presentation skills, or you can say that the communication skills. So these different kind of softs can also be increased among the students by using the project-based learning. Then feedback method, reflection method, and different types of different other skills you are able to enhance of the students by using the project-based learning. Next. So four P's are there in the project-based learning. One is called the practice. Means students are it is not it is students are not focusing only a single pathway. He can think of a different kind of pathways available to solve a single problem. So practice, students are doing the practice. They are learning through the hands-on experience on various learning environmental settings to gain in-depth understanding of the subjects, and the passion for the learning, and problem solving ability. So the learning with the goal to find a variety of solutions of a specific challenge or the specific problem. So problem solving ability you are going to inculcate or develop among the students, and the projects by learning journey that takes place over an extended period.
Excuse me, sir.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, sir, you're audible now, sir.
Okay. Okay. So these are three P's very important in the project learning: practice, project, problem, and the passion. Next. Okay. So this is all from my side. If any have any questions, you can ask.